Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu unseren Freunden aus dem deutschsprachigen Raum auf Chateau de Colombe, neue Episode Journey to the Chateau. Und wir sprechen heute mal darüber, was dir keiner erzählt, wenn man ein Chateau renoviert.
Bonjour à tous, bienvenue à Journey to the Château de Colombe à Saint-Modèle.
And now to our English-speaking friends from around the world. Oh, hello.
Please hold.
She does it twice. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Journey to the Chateau. We are diving deep into why certain things take much longer at a chateau to renovate. It means the dirty secrets, things that people don't tell you. Why certain things are very, very slow. And it has nothing to do with French bureaucracy or any bureaucracy. It has to do with rolling back layers and layers of prior renovations to do it right for the 21st century. We have quite a few viewers who are wondering why haven't we continued with the hall or the Grand Salon? And it is really hard to understand for people who live with normally built houses with normal electricity in it.
Yeah.
So the electricity here comes all through our rafters, is that correct?
The old system came through trunking under the windows of the first floor. It comes somewhere.
We might find it one day.
Well, no, I know it comes in
No,
upstairs, but they've obviously cut a load out at one stage, and so they've tapped in the new system when they did the when they did the kitchen, because that is a newer supply. So they've kind of brought in some new supply, and now they're so somewhere, the walk through to the back, your office upstairs.
Yes.
That corridor. As you come out of that room, the yellow room, down there is a panel behind the wallpaper, which I will have to cut into at some stage.
Oh, that beautiful wallpaper.
You're not keeping that wallpaper?
No.
Oh, okay. So
No, not a problem. No.
Excellent. So I can cut that. But that, I think, is where the junction is.
Yes.
From when they more modernised the kitchen end, but they didn't touch this bit.
Yes.
And then they also ran stuff, yes, as you say, right in the rafters, over to your flat.
Yes.
And they redid it from that end coming as far as the petit salon.
Yeah.
The original old chateau had 16mm cable running through conduit,
Yes.
and it's just tapped off from there. So
The conduit is that brown, for example, in the salon as well.
yeah, it's this of different sizes. So
Yes.
it's either 3-channel, 2-channel, but it's also a lot bigger when they had the main,
Yes.
because they just taped off it. I can show you some joints upstairs. So nothing was protected or fused down. And if you look at that bit, all the insulation
Oh yeah, that looks
is
safe.
kind of not really there.
Some mounts might have had a little bit of a
That's not now, that's just
death.
Just wear.
That's just old age, so
yeah.
the insulation is degraded and is very brittle now.
Oh,
So you've got no protection.
no.
But that's That's what you were running off
Yes.
few hours ago.
Yes, it's
So it needed redoing, shall I put it that way? But it's like with everything. You can't do everything in one go. You can if you weren't living here, you weren't running a business here. But if you're trying to run a business and live here, you need to do things in kind of bite-sized chunks.
yes. How
Otherwise-
one viewer always remember how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it is literally, it's for me, it's trying to work out a way that I can do things to keep your supplies. So you still have power for that light
Yes.
when you're entertaining or your vlog
Yeah.
here. If I say, I'm just going to cut all the lighting, and to do everything
Right.
would be, say, 3 months down the line, that's not going to work for you living in the chateau.
Right.
It's difficult.
So
Yes.
it is kind of working out the way I can cut it. So I've now cut it back, but I have left you power, so you've got your wall light still on. But the central chandelier is now on the new system.
And I do feel better about this because
So you've lost your daisy chain across the ceiling.
oh, that's so sad.
Oh.
And then I have temporarily rewired this in by changing the cable. So this is,
Yes.
if you wanted it the other way too, well, it's easy to do
no,
either way.
That's actually exactly
That's
the smaller bit. Yes.
So
Because this is really more
you
for
can now see your roads properly without a.
Yeah, that's
yes,
cable coming
for the
across.
first time actually. Yes.
So
And there will be more holes in the ceiling.
there will be more.
I mean, it is.
Down this channel here, because I've got to bring new cables down because this switch is still on the old system, that old brittle cable. But
Yes, it's lovely.
while we're not touching it, it's kind of safe. But
Yes, it is safe-ish.
and I'm bringing earth in all the way through to make sure it is. But yeah, I'll bring a hole and then I'll go behind the coping and come down. So hopefully it's just one bit I'm bringing down. I might have to do something in that corner as well.
But it is fascinating to really to understand the work that needs to be done in order to to do this step by step and not empty chateau and let's just
If it's empty
do
chateau,
everything.
doing it, you've
Right.
got several million.
Yes.
You're out. You bring
I
in.
have?
If you did.
Well, I have that.
No, but if you did, and
Yes.
you brought in a whole team, then yes, you would just cut everything.
Of course.
Because it would be safer in one respect, because of other trades, they don't want to go digging in a wall and get a shock, so you would just kill everything and bring in the same
Right.
supplies. But
And
like most
this
people,
way.
it is a budget, and you're in the place, so you've got to work around everything.
Yes.
And the fun thing is you're doing that bedroom, but I still need to keep the power here, so we'll cut it back.
Yes.
So I've brought
It's-
temporary supplies in.
I think that is interesting too, that bedroom kind of is tied into with all of this, so you can't just cut everything off there.
No.
Because then you interrupt this. So hence we're working around this. So some things are not as fast as one would think they could be, but they can't.
Right.
No,
I mean,
it's
not
going to be working, but taking your time, I'm thinking, so I bought in a temporary supply to keep this room running,
Yeah.
but that temporary supply will be rerouted for a permanent socket, so it's not, I'm not doing work that's not going to be used in the future.
Yes.
It's trying to work out the best route, so it's cost effective and things work. The next challenge is actually to do the dining room, because for you to finish decorating
Yes.
the yellow bedroom, what are you calling that these days? It's going to be the.
Well,
It's not going to be yellow for much longer, is it?
No,
it's going to be
the Stewie bedroom.
trial.
Let's just go with 12.
No, it's the Stewie.
No.
Because to remove, so you can fully decorate that the wood panelling under the windows,
Right.
I've got to get new power into the dining room for the lights.
So
Because that's run off that. So.
exactly. So we can't actually do certain things in the bedroom upstairs
Until
until the dining room is rewired. So it's always like peeling back.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the onion.
Yeah, it is. It's peeling back.
So
layers.
we're onionizing the chateau.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, John.
No problem.
Now, to reiterate that a little bit, and I'm not digressing, I'm right on a target. So all of these rooms are completely interconnected.
Right.
And so for John, when he says I'm working on that room, means the bed and breakfast room. So he, in order to roll that all back and do it properly so we don't have to go back to beautifully painted paneling that then has to be taken off again, he is thinking ahead and he's just so smart and organized.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to kind of stop certain things right now at the bed and breakfast room because it needs to be rolled back now that we know how all the wires are going.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them really, when he takes them out of the walls, I don't even know why we didn't go up in flames.
I don't know either. And just in case you don't remember, so the bed and breakfast room that we're working on is actually right above the dining room.
Yes.
Right. So
Please hold. And
Okay.
It's 7 p.m.
it is. Yes, and so the point that John is making is that rooms side to side from each other and up and down from each other at the chateau, whether it is plumbing or electrical, these are all connected to each other.
Yes, everything's
And so
interconnected.
any decision that you make in one room affects the other rooms. If you cut off electrical in one room, it's going to cut it off in multiple rooms. And so it's John working through all of these issues, trying to get us good wiring in the chateau.
It's safe too.
Right.
I appreciate that actually.
Right, and it sort of explains why a lot of the times we work on a room and then the room kind of comes to a stop because we have to make decisions and do things in some of the other rooms because it all has an impact.
Yes, and it's nothing is straightforward. Everything is, well, it has to get worse before it can get better. So everything is a lot of deconstruction, destruction. Our hall right now looks like a bomb exploded. I mean, John always cleans up after himself, so there are holes in the walls, in the ceiling,
Right.
and there will be more holes in the ceiling in the Grand Salon. So if anyone wondering why we're not progressing there, because we need to get the power from the hall all the way to the back of the chateau. So that is in progress. So
Right.
it's just never quite as we are used to it with our houses that we renovate in the United States. Well, it's just not. So this is peeling back 140 years of wiring and bringing it up to 21st century standards. So that is quite a task that he has, and it's huge. And if anyone is wondering, yes, John is our electrician, and we do pay him
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's not volunteering. It's
No.
And he deserves every penny he gets because he's fantastic. And he's part of our really close friend, a close-knit friend / family community that we have built here, and his wife Claire and their daughter Beatrice. So we feel very lucky that we have them in our lives, and like with Tony and Jane and Eve and Richard. I mean, it's growing, and Jojo and I almost said the wrong word.
Gary.
Yes. Sorry. It's growing, and it's just people we can, rely on and vent if need be. So it's quite lovely. Now,
Right.
we do have one thing that we did. We did go to one brocante.
We did, yes, a large brocante. And,
yes.
and it's such an interesting place because it's along the canal. It's the Berry Canal.
Canal de Berry,
right? Yes. And you may remember it because we went there last year as well. And so it's a very distinctive area that you may see it being very familiar to when we were there last year as well.
Yes, and it's in Saint-Amand-Montrond, and so the canal goes all the way through, and it used to be extremely busy. It's decommissioned now, but it's really quite lovely. And last year was the first year after COVID restrictions were lifted that it was actually held, and it was quite large compared to most other brocantes. This year it was 3 times as many exhibitors and 5 times as many people. It was packed, but we had a blast. But as Stuart will confirm, we could have left after 15 minutes because what we bought, first 15 minutes.
Right. And then after that, it was just fun.
Yes, it was great. Have a look. So there was one couple, they were adorable, and those three things, the pair of candlesticks, they're from Rouen, and you can see that by, no you can't actually. They're the two lions of the city of
It
Rouen.
has a crest on it.
A crest, and that's Jean, which is, they have the Renaissance pattern, we absolutely love it. So we got that, and we got a lid for a copper pot. So it's a universal lid.
We've got all these copper pots, and we don't have a lid for anyone.
And I want anyone who wants to break in here just going to smack you. No, I'm kidding, but this is just lovely. And yeah, that was within like 2 minutes of each other, and that was it.
Right. And the rest of it was just, they have little carnival rides for kids. They've got live music on the stages going on there. So it was just a lot of fun. And we met up with Jane and Tony while we were there.
And Eve and Richard.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun people watching. Yes.
It was really very relaxed. And beside it being packed, in France and like in many Mediterranean countries, it is the pace of life is just very much more relaxing. And so even though it was packed, there was no stress. People would just, they stop right in front of you and block everything and just talk.
Right.
And you think, ooh, move, and then you have to remind yourself that is actually what makes life in France beautiful.
Right.
That it's not that stressful, and you can just take a moment and smell the roses.
Right. So that's it for this episode.
Is it?
Right? It is.
Yes, it is.
So if you like this episode, please give us a thumbs up.
Subscribe. That helps us tremendously. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us a lot.
And if you want to contribute to the restoration of the Chateau, you can join us on Patreon.
Or buy us a coffee. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and we see you next week.
On Wednesday. Au revoir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Goodbye.
If you enjoyed this video, please use the like feature to let us know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our Journey to the Chateau YouTube channel if you would like to see more. Once you've subscribed, you can tap the notification bell in order to ring it, which will allow you to receive all notifications from our channel. Thank you.